distance into my church planting journey, I found that the rigors of this whole enterprise had caused me to take my eyes off my own physical health. I was stressed out, physically injured, overweight, with poor nutrition, little exercise, bad rhythms for rest and recovery, and I was working too many hours trying to accomplish more than I was going to be able to sustain with these patterns. Simply put, God saved me from a breaking point. He got my attention. He showed me that He has a long life of ministry planned for me, but only if I serve Him out of sustainable patterns of holistic health. You see, the Scriptures teach us that God has given us this mission, this message, this gospel treasure in jars of clay. And yet, while our bodies are temporal and finite, even wasting away, we're told to present them as living sacrifices, to glorify God with our bodies, to love God not only with our heart, soul, and mind, but our strength too. And so I've made it my new aim, and I want to encourage you to make it your aim to steward this glorious resource that God has given you in your physical health. In order to do that, I want to share with you some first steps to rethink and rearrange life in such a way that you can bring glory to Christ through your physical health in the midst of what is sure to be a stressful and strenuous church planting tenure. Number one, rethink the relationship between diet and exercise. So many of us have begun to believe food's primary purpose is enjoyment, that life is full of enjoying God's good gift of food, and exercise is what we do to punish ourselves when we've enjoyed this good gift a little or much too much. But what if we saw food's primary purpose as fuel? Fuel for a body that was meant to do all sorts of things to bring God glory. You know, the work of church planting is strenuous and multifaceted. It requires work in and among the community. It often involves loading and unloading for service projects, setting up and tearing down for worship services, hitting the streets to pray and share the good news. Church planting is not a spectator sport. And this physical work and the exercise that we do to prepare for it are what we do to give God glory with our bodies. And we need food to fuel that movement. And while we may technically be able to give God glory for any food, not all food fuels our bodies to give God the most glory. Number two, reestablish what you truly need. Calories. These units of measurement for our food, calories are just energy. Eat what you need, what your body will burn, and everything on top of that will be stored as fat. One of the most truly enlightening bits of information that people can gain is what is known as your basal metabolic rate, the number of calories that your body burns on an average in a given day at rest. So to establish healthy patterns for nutrition, you need to determine the amount of food that your body needs. To do so, take a quick 10 minutes to search for an online BMR calculator. Provide a few accurate biometric numbers, and you'll find out what your body truly needs in order not only to survive, but to thrive. Number three, reinvest in yourself. Everyone who answers the call to plant has to acknowledge that God has called him and then be willing to invest in the process of preparation, development, and execution for that call. For some, this included seminary, residency, leaving a career, moving across the country, giving up what you otherwise had in order to say yes to God's call to plant. And the call to prioritize your physical health is more of the same. Unless you have an extensive history in sports or exercise, you may not know where to start when it comes to getting in shape. Even if you did, you aren't as young as you used to be. So investing in a personal trainer, a nutrition coach, or a gym membership for a few months to a year might be exactly what you need to get started and kickstart your health in the right direction. You know, leaders are willing to sacrifice so many things in order to follow God's call. But when it comes to sacrificing for their own personal health, it seems that their sacrifice gets cut short. Don't let it. It may take time, money, resources, sacrifice, but it is what is necessary in order to say yes and to continue to say yes to God's call for years to come.